good day to everybody. I'm Emily Harveaux. I'm a coach with SB Gang, and we are the Butter Dish Girls, and we're excited to talk to you today about our personal experience with priming.
Yes. Hi, I'm Coach Adek, and I'm also one of the coaches in Bella's Steak and Butter Gang.
Hi, I'm Coach Cherish, and I am also a coach in the SPG gang. And I'm super excited for today's topic. What's today's topic, Emily?
So today's topic is so near and dear to my heart. It is really the foundation. When you come into the gang, you will learn about this area called priming, and we teach this thoroughly in our feasting and fasting classes. What we wanted to do was to give you a personal look at a coach's experiences, our personal experiences with priming, and what that felt like for us. So this is a very important process for anybody that is new to the carnivore diet, anybody that's been on the carnivore diet and has had any sort of calorie restriction, has done any sort of under eating, which is most of us. And it's also new for people who are interested in fasting down the road, that are hoping that fasting can be part of one of the biohacks that they use in combination with a carnivore diet to increase their efficiency and help to fight all the disease processes. There's huge benefits in fasting, and priming can help with this. But it is not required for you to fast. The priming period and this feasting period is required for you starting your journey. And we absolutely encourage everyone to do it. Seasoned carnivores, new carnivores, we encourage everybody to do this. And the benefits are so wonderful. You're going to experience something new. And one of the biggest things you're going to experience with this overall is food freedom and lack of cravings. So this is a little bit of the why of why this is a foundational approach for our gang and for our group. And so we just kind of want to share a little window of how it has affected us in our journey so far. So Cherish, would you like to start?
Sure, I'll go first. So my journey is the keto to carnivore journey. I think a lot of our group members have a similar experience. And what I learned was I started dabbling in fasting before I became full carnivore, and it was extremely hard. I was doing a lot of clock watching, like what we call white knuckling, just like watching the clock. Oh, how long has it been? I'm watching my fasting app, like how many hours have I done this? And how much longer can I push myself? I'd stand up, I'm getting dizzy. This is like really hard.
Were you using salt and stuff as well, Cherish?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And lots of coffee to suppress my appetite.
Right. Anything to get through these fasts. Yeah, I relate to that. Yep.
Right. Lots and lots of coffee. So dirty fasting, if you want to call it that. So then, as I joined the Steak and Butter gang and started learning the fasting techniques, I was practicing them and I was really proud of myself. I was actually able to get to doing alternate day fasting, and I did my first rolling 48. And then all of a sudden, my hormones, like something was wrong. I couldn't finish a single like OMAD or one meal a day. All of a sudden, it was just like impossible. Like I was ravenous. And what is going on? So, I did a little of my own investigation, working with a practitioner, tested my hormones, and all of my hormones were low, all of them. And my stress level, even though I have low cortisol, it was high all the time. So imagine that you're not making enough cortisol, but yet your cortisol levels are like on top of a cliff all day long. So I was clearly a mess. So I said to myself, what did we learn these last few months in our feasting and fasting class? I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take the whole month of December. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to eat like it's my job. I'm going to prime just like Coach asked me to. And for me, it's the perfect time. It's freezing here in the US where I live. And this is what bears do, right? This is what a lot of mammals do. they fill their bellies for the cold winter, and then they sleep and they fast through the rest of the winter. Because when Raymond first told me that his seasonal fasting occurred in the winter, I asked him, I'm like, wouldn't it be better in the summer? Because you're usually less hungry when it's hot out. And he's like, yeah, but this really works for me. All of a sudden, light bulb, I'm like, but wait a minute. If you're doing proper priming before you're fasting, you're actually doing it the right way, doing it in the winter, because you want to fill up that belly in the winter and then start doing the fast as we're starting to move towards spring.
I
So it
agree.
makes sense, right? I was like, ah, woohoo. So, okay, so right, right.
Yeah.
It was like aha moment for me, like ding, 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 you got
I
it.
love
Well,
those
and the
moments.
thing that I love about that too, not to be vain or whatever, but then it kind of helps us get like our summer, because summer's coming, swimsuits are coming, short season is coming. So if you're taking it from this recon perspective, if you're wanting to use the priming period to kind of, get your fast, and then you have like lots of time to practice your fasting when it gets closer to summertime. I think that's brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So it just kind of like clicked. It was like, oh wow, this is why we're doing it this way. And then a couple magical things happened. So I'll try to be brief. Okay, so I suffer from TMJ, which is a debilitating area in the joint. I can't pronounce it, but it's a joint in your jaw where you wind up with locked jaw, and it's very painful. And I noticed that while feasting and priming, I was horrifically in pain, and I didn't know what to eat. Normally I would just drink some bone broth, which doesn't have a whole lot of fat in it. And this time I just grabbed a piece of very fatty pork belly and let it kind of sit in my mouth. And oh my God, the pain went away. It was like I got the biggest dopamine hit of my life. It was so weird. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. So feasting and priming heal. Then I realized, now you guys have known me for some time, and it's always been a goal of mine to get more than like a broken night's sleep. I, like a lot of moms, I was getting up at like 2:30 in the morning to go to the bathroom. It was kind of like that was how my biological clock, ever since my daughter was born, she's almost 17 years old. I was getting up every night to go to the bathroom, sleeping very lightly. I could hear my husband coming home from work. Everything was disturbing me. Like I could hear a pin drop. All of a sudden, like 2 weeks into priming, I noticed, oh my gosh, I'm sleeping a solid 6 hours. I did not get up to go to the bathroom. I did not hear my husband's big old boots coming in the door. This is amazing.
Wow.
So it's just healed so much. And I am so elated that this time around I did it the way it was prescribed, because I think it's going to make a huge difference in my outcomes. So
It
I'm
is.
stoked.
I believe it. And I just heard Bella recently, she was explaining priming, and she said that, why don't you somebody was on the fence. They were really hating the process, and, were kind of wanting to get out of it quickly or whatever. And she said, I just suggest that you do the full prescribed amount so that you seal the deal. Why don't you just seal it? Because once it's sealed, then you get these other health benefits on the other side of it. So that just makes a ton of sense. I'm so glad to hear about that. Fantastic.
And how are you feeling now, Cherish? Now
I
you
feel pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually feel great. I just got done doing a 1 week of 1 meal a day.
Oh, cool.
Was super easy. Yesterday, I accidentally thought we were supposed to go to 2 meals. I double checked our calendar in the Mighty Networks and was like, oh no, we're still on 1 meal a day, which was not a big deal because I was fully primed. It didn't matter.
That's wonderful. Such a difference in before, right? Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Love it.
Very comfortable.
Yeah. Shall I share my priming experience?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
I didn't know about Raymond concept or anything like that when I started carnivore. So I had the presumption that, you can just go and do OMADs right away. Just go do carnivore, go right to OMADs because everyone was doing that, and you'll be fine. But it was a year of hunger, and I even added in the alternate fasting in it as well after a month. And so and because you're so used to struggling with all the diets before that, and you said, well, this is how it's supposed to be. With this diet, you need to struggle as well. You need to white knuckle it, like Cherish says. You need to use the app to fast, or and just, or even listening to people who say the average woman should eat about 1.5 pounds of meat. It wasn't enough, but I kept that rule in my head because I thought that's the way of carnivore. And I celebrated my 1 year, and then in July I saw Raymond and Bella's video, and I thought, oh my gosh, you need to switch it around. You need to turn the things around. Don't fast so that you can feast a lot. You need to feast a lot so you can fast. And so in July, I came and joined one of the challenges. The first challenge was in July, and then we were talking about priming, and you need to stuff yourself. And I said, "What is going on? Why? Okay, I'm allowed to eat more. I'm allowed to eat more. I've already ditched the calorie counting, so I'm not going to see how much I'm eating." And I just decided, okay, I'm going to do the lion diet. But then when I did that, I said, I can't do this with fasting. I need to eat every day. This slight change just prevented me for skipping a day. So I decided to just eat every day because I woke up hungry every day. So at first it was just OMADs, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to go into priming. Even three meals, lion diet, changed it. That's good. Next goal, priming. And I had to prime. I thought, 2 weeks, I can do that. That's fine. 2 weeks is all right. 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Yes. Perfect.
And I was scared of, especially the 2 week mark. But I went to the meetings, and I asked about Raymond, is it okay? Is it okay to go past 2? Of course, go ahead. You can do as long as you can. Much. Just fill up that bottomless pit. That's the main goal you have right now. You made this change. Don't worry. Keep on going with the lion diet, but just eat all day. And that gave me my green light, the permission to eat more. And that was wonderful. It was my first time in, I don't know how long. I think I've been hungry since I was a teenager. First time I really felt full and just stuffed, and just taking that last bite. You can never imagine it. Just that last little bite, you can't even put it in your mouth. That was my goal every single time, and I love that moment. I know it's hard for everyone. We see it in our members, and it's quite scary to come to that moment and then go beyond stuffed. But that is what your body wants, and that's what I've learned in the 6 weeks. And yes, and then when I started fasting again, I mean, oh my gosh, such a difference. It was just the day, the first day I tried the first 48. It's like, oh my gosh, it's already 7 o'clock, and usually I would be like, I have 1 more hour to go because the shops are closing in 1 hour. But it just went by, and the next day was just, it was fine. I never felt that before in a fast. Even after a year of fasting, that feeling you don't train for that. You can't train for it. It doesn't get easier. But with after priming, it's all my fasts are a breeze. It's just such a world of difference. So that's why I love priming, and I love it as well. It just what you say, even seasoned carnivores can use it, and we can use it as our home base as well. We have our home bases, what we call teach each other, but you can use priming as well, home base as well. If you feel stressed, or like me, if I have anxieties, or if I know I'm going to have something stressful coming on, I prime for a few days, and that makes me so much relaxed, and so much I can take the world on after a prime.
This is the most incredible tool. And I was thinking back, it was so interesting, Adeck, you and I were both experiencing a lot of transitions and stress, and I actually forget what exactly it was that was kind of blowing up in my life, but there was something that was, and I was just feeling super, super stressed, and there was something going on your end too. And we didn't even tell each other, but we just started priming. We just knew that was the thing to do. And so it was just like, and so that's just so cool. That's such a benefit to being part of a community, is reading each other's situations and knowing within ourselves. The biggest win is that we knew within ourselves that that was exactly where we needed to go and what we needed to do. And then it was so fun just being in this community together and being like, well, I've really been really stressed out. I just started praying. Well, that's what I did too. Like, oh, there was so much energy in that. So yeah, that was
fun. Well, it's nice to have, you know, if everything fails, you know, you go back to priming. You can at least rely on that. You can release, and you know you'll feel better in the end, or even when you just start priming, you already feel better.
It's a tool that we've always got in our tool belt. And what I've noticed, I've primed a couple of different times, is that it's just reliable. It's just a reliable place that I can go now. If I'm in question about something with my health, I can just go back into this priming stage, and it changes everything. It just restores me. It completely renews me. So I did want to ask about the length of time, because this is really fun, because we've got such a variety in here, this about how long this can take. And what do you think when you went, you said it took about 6 weeks when you were on the Lion. And do you think that, you know, I'm just trying to understand that a little bit. Do you have an understanding on why you think it took that long? Do you think about that? Or, you know, I was just curious.
I think there were two things. It's just the change, because you think it's just a little, but your body really needs to adjust to if you switch diets or anything. If you take out dairy or anything, I think you shouldn't be fasting when you're changing things up, even you're out of the diet, you know, your routine in your life or something like that. And also I was just under eating. I was just still under eating even through that whole year of carnivore. So just yes, restricting, so not deliberately, but just because you were just following the rules or the things that you were taught. And it wasn't hard. 1.5 pounds was not enough for me actually. So
absolutely, that's incredible. So as I think about, so I have a pretty similar story to Adeck. I came to SB Gang in July, so we joined the same month. What month did you join, Cherish?
July.
We're all like little July baby joins, and we were so just go.
That is not planned. Like, just so everybody knows, that's
random.
Were you guys in the Mighty Networks, or were you not in the new in the Mighty Networks as well? Because I was there in March already, but I didn't know.
No, I wasn't.
I was in the Mighty Networks, nothing having to do with Bella's group. A friend of mine taught a goal-oriented class. It was such a cool class about getting your vision and your purpose and your mission statement, and writing all these different mantras and checking in with yourself to make sure that you're on point in your life. And she had used the Mighty Networks platform to teach this course. So I wasn't new to Mighty Networks platform, because I'd taken this class with Carrie Ann that I loved, but I hadn't been in the big group on Mighty Networks, the group that we're at, like 5,000 strong. We have a free group on Mighty Networks that's up to, we've got about 5,000 members that we post and chat and respond. It's so wonderful. And then we have a subscription group it's at $30 a month that you have when you have access to a challenge level. So we have a challenge level, and the challenge level, of course, has a lot more access to coaches and live seminars, guest speakers, class. I mean, it's just phenomenal. So yeah, I hadn't been on either. So Adeck, you joined the big group, the Mighty Network, just the free. You joined the free group to start with.
Yeah, in March. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not. I was a bit scared of being on any kind of platform. I'm very, I'm not used. I wasn't used to it at all. So, and I don't know. I was already following Bella on YouTube, like I'm sure everyone has, but there was just one video that just all of a sudden, and in March, I don't even remember which one. It wasn't even the one that I first saw where she was eating her ribeyes, but it was just one day. I just heard her say, "Come join the chat, just come join the MIT Networks. It's free and we're here for you, and it's a loving community." And I thought, you know what, I need this, because it's hard to do it on your own. It is.
Yes.
You can, but it's so much easier if you join the community. Yes.
I love it. I love like our Zoom meetings. We get to see everybody. We get to know each other. We have made the best of friends here. And it's just, there's something about seeing our, so we know how powerful a meetup is, right? We know if we're in the carnivore space, certainly we've heard of a meetup. Cherish has been able to attend a meetup. I have not been to a meetup yet. You haven't been to a meetup, have you? No. So I haven't had that opportunity to go to a meetup. I can't wait until I attend my first meetup. But it's like, I think that these Zoom meetings give us a little bit of that chance of that sense of community where we have lots of people visiting the chat box, lots of people giving their own testimony. We can see these are real people. These aren't like icons in the community or influencer this or, these are just humans. We're just a group of beautiful, humble, wonderful humans. We're just connecting about this health hack that has just, and it's not even a hack. It's what we were designed to do. This is our best health, is just having a diet where we just eat animal foods is just so wonderful. So I am getting so off track. I apologize. I haven't told my priming story yet. Sorry.
Priming. Yes.
Sorry, my priming. Okay.
I was your priming story, Emily.
Okay. Yes, thank you. When I first joined, I was so enamored and listening to every word that came out of Coach Raymond's mouth about feasting, because it's like you, Adeck, and like you, Cherish, like I just didn't get it. I just didn't understand. And I was like, what? What did he say? He said we can feast? What? I don't understand this. And I was very experienced faster at that point, as many of us have. Dr. Fung's incredible work has been out for a long, long time now. And we've all learned so much from that work and the science that has gone into that. And so I had fasting journey, had been on keto, had lost about 110 pounds in the previous 3.5 years. So I'd had a huge transformation, big health transformation. Thank you. I was still completely, before I started carnivore, addicted to keto foods. I was addicted to sweeteners and nut butters and so I had so many vices. And my first 6 months on carnivore, I was able to stay carnivore. I was still pretty hungry. I was fasting. I was eating carnivore. I believe I was under eating and I was striving. I was, just doing all these step challenges, which are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I was striving and just pushing myself, eat less, move more. So I was kind of still actually following like the advice from the diet world while I was on the meat life. And so the carnivore life is about tossing that stuff. It's about enhancements. It's about, encouraging each other to be exercising because it makes us feel good and because we want to feel good. And so not because you want to be skinny, super fast or anything like that. And so I was on this journey, but I could not believe Coach Raymond talking about feasting and that it was appropriate for fasting. And so immediately I incorporated feasting. And at that month, it was the month of July, I was doing alternate day fasting. And so I incorporated feasting, but I did not prime. I didn't understand about that. So, it was a good month. I enjoyed that. And then I got to August and I was so sick of my addiction to dairy that I decided for the month of August to try the Lion diet because I wanted to kick all of these addictions. I had so many addictions still. I had dairy, I had diet pop, I had sugar-free gum. There's a lot. There's probably more that I can't remember at this point. But so I came to Lion diet and tried that for the month of August and was unable to fast, got knocked on my butt. And I'm a professional faster and all the tricks were not working. The electrolytes, the salts, the distracting myself, the mental, my accountability buddies, none of that was working anymore. And so it knocked me on my butt and I went ahead and took a break from fasting for the most part because I was just unable to, just focused on Lion. I wasn't doing a proper prime at that period. So I wasn't really still doing how we are taught in class. And we go into details in these classes and feasting and fasting. You do not have to worry about how to go about priming. We will tell you how to prime. So I still hadn't quite, for some time I was playing with the feasting and the fasting, but I never did the priming. I didn't have my foundation. And so what happens when you try to build these habits on a shaky foundation is they're just not what they could be. Was I succeeding? I was. Was I feeling good? I was. But I just didn't know. And so we don't know till we know, and that's okay. So I feel like I inched my way into priming, and I tried like a little bit of it here and a little bit of it there. And so coming from that experience, when new people join and they're really experienced fasters, they've been in the carnivore lifestyle for a long time, they say, well, what about me? Should I prime? And, you know, I want to tell you guys, if we had the incredible Dr. Jason Fung himself in our feasting and fasting meetings, I would tell him, you need to prime.
Yes, so would I.
I mean, that,
I love him to death, but I wish he would prime.
We wish he would prime. We wish he would prime. And so this is how strongly I feel about this. And so you're never going to hear from me, oh, well, you fasted for 30 days one time, or, oh, you've been on the lion diet for 2 years, or, well, you don't need to prime. You will never hear that from me, ever. No. And so my best prime so far is actually just my recent one. And it was beautiful. I did it for 17 days. I felt so good. I felt so nourished. And it was tricky, and it was hard, and it's a ton of work, and we will help you through that. Okay, so I'm back on my fast. I'm a faster. I love to fast, and I'm back on, I'm doing rolling fasts right now, and they are just a dream. They are just this issue about where suggestive hunger versus hunger that demands that you eat it. I mean, that you go for the food. It's a night and day difference. So it's just gotten better and better and better and better. My fasts have gotten so relaxed and so easy, and eating's kind of becoming like, oh, I have to eat today. That's annoying. I'm busy. I have a lot of stuff to do. And so I'm walking that life that we say out there. I'm in it. I am scheduling and ordering my feast. And when I eat, I feast, and I'm scheduling it around, you know, what the family's doing, how that's going, and what days we're coaching, what days we have meetings. Like, I'm doing all of that, and that's going so well. So I just want to encourage you guys to prime. I can't help it. It's just like the best things I've done, and I will keep on doing it. I will never stop coming back to priming because of how much it has helped me. And by the way, it also helped me get off of Diet Pop. I do not drink Diet Coke anymore. I'm way beyond that. And my coffee's down to once or twice a month. So if you're wanting to give up coffee, this is a great opportunity to do this. I seriously, like, I guess I have it intermittently. I can't say I'm off it, because I did have it, you know, just once or twice a month. So I don't know, just the thing in the gum, there's no gum in my life. I used to just be constantly gum, chewing on sugar-free gum, and it's gone. So the freedom that I experience now is just, so life-changing. And so I don't know if I talked enough about it. That's just where it's gotten me. It's just gotten me freedom. It's gotten me to love my rolling fast. So I've gotten on the other side of it, and the water is good. Come on into the water, y'all. It's good over here.
How about you, Cherish? Are you off to dairy? Have you been able to?
Oh yeah, I've been off dairy for weeks now. I think I stopped the last week of December, which was the last week of my prime. So like Emily recommended, you don't want to do like a drastic shift when you're getting ready to start doing some fasts that maybe might be hard for you.
Right.
I'm getting ready to do the protocol for Raymond's, where you first start with 1 meal a day. We just finished that, and I knew that was coming. So, and plus I just wasn't feeling very well. I was feeling bloated, inflamed. And I'm like, you know what? I've had enough cheese. I'm good. I'm going to let the dairy go again, because I know it's just going to do, because when you let dairy go, it does amazing things for your body count. Amazing things, because it does inflame you so badly. So even though I'm surrounded by cheese because of my family, I don't even crave it, because I know if I eat it, my ankles are going to swell. I'm going to feel terrible. And I just don't really eat anything that requires cheese. I'm if I didn't love bacon and eggs so much, I would do lion diet, because I eat so much steak. but I love my bacon and eggs.
Yeah, I understand.
So,
I think that was my last thing that I had to say goodbye to, but it was
yeah,
pork belly and eggs.
maybe one day I'll give it a whirl. I'll challenge myself one day. But, I'm just feeling so good. I feel like my hormones are all leveled out now.
Mm.
I definitely notice an impact there. Because like I said, if you can't get through a day, like a few days of just eating once a day, then something is wrong. Your hormones are not sufficiently nourished. You are not nourished. And it goes with, I don't want to get too preachy here because I know we're just sharing our stories, but in my mind, it's like, this is the natural way of things.
Yes.
If you think about it, before we had electricity and refrigerators and things of that nature, you hunted, you killed, you ate, and then you had to wait until the next kill.
Yes, absolutely.
Eating and fasting are absolutely biologically natural.
Perfect.
And you have to eat as much as possible. Otherwise, the food goes to waste.
Yeah,
right? If your refrigerator broke down tomorrow, you would have to either throw that food away or eat it all. So why not eat it all?
Hey,
I don't like leftovers. I eat everything. So, but I remember Raymond once said, sorry, you should feast with the idea that you're not going to eat tomorrow. That's how much you need to eat right now.
I like that. I love that.
Something I remembered as well. Yeah.
It's amazing. Keep going.
Oh, sorry, no, it's okay. And I think what I wanted to say was what we also find natural, or what we would like everyone to feel, is food freedom. And that is what you get when you prime first. Because you can go into fasting, you can do it, but those cravings will always be there. They will always, if you don't you prepare your body for a good fast. So that's why the priming is very important to us, because we want all of you to feel this food freedom, because it is very achievable. It's actually almost normal. And I don't want to.
No, it's completely achievable, and it's such a peaceful way. And so, here's the thing, we feel so excited to sort of sell this experience because we want people to, have it, but we really don't have to, because it's very peaceful. It's really calm. It's not some hyped up, go rah, rah, rah kind of a situation. It just helps you to find your calm is what it does. And so I don't have a problem with saying that this is doable. This is achievable. You kind of do have to take your breath and trust the process. And there's going to be some fears that come on along the way. The best thing you can do is to try to take a really calm, measured, steady approach and just try it.
Yeah, try it. You can, like we always say, you can do anything for 30 days.
Exactly. Yeah.
Worst come to worst, if you absolutely hate it, and we have had situations like that where somebody has hated it and they tried something different, But for the most part, everybody that I've seen that has tried this way has been very grateful, because it really does fix a lot. I could spend an entire hour, as I'm sure you two could as well, going through the list of things that not only carnivore, but actual priming has helped me fix and helped me relieve. My kids don't nearly get yelled at as much as they used to.
That's right.
I have 2 teenagers.
I've got 3.
Right? How much more calmer am I dealing with their little mini dramas than I used to be? It's weird when they talk about the carnivore zen. Priming helps you get there.
Yeah, priming will help you get to carnivore zen. Oh my goodness, I love it. Cherish, that was a really good idea when you brought that up. You said about we should do, how we have NSVs, non-scale victories. We should encourage ourselves and our members to write out our list of priming victories.
Nice, we do.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
So good. you actually forget your victories.
You do,
Yeah,
and
you do.
and as we're new members are coming in and old members are remembering, coming back to this, like that could be a really cool post for us to do, is priming victories, and we'll just list it on out, or we can ask it in the chat box, priming victories.
Yes.
So I love
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think that's a good place for us to stop,
Yep.
unless you guys want to continue. I mean, we could talk about priming forever, right?
We really could. We really could. Nope. I just want to encourage everybody and say, Adeck said it best when we had our meeting just this last Friday, is that she said, you finally have permission. You have permission to feast. You have permission to never be hungry again. You are granted official permission for that. And this absolute journey starts with priming.
Yes. Beautiful.
Great way to end it. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you guys. This was
Thanks.
wonderful.
Fantastic.